Hello, and thank you for joining Disney with the Ducks. I'm your host for tonight, Lonnie G. But look, I can't do this show by myself, and I am joined by some great people, some great ducks from that's live in the studios from around this great United States. Tonight, I am with John. How you doing tonight, John?
I'm doing great.
Good deal, Jodie.
Hey, everybody.
Mean Gene. Woo!
I'm groovy as can be.
And of course, Kevin. How are you tonight,
Yeah,
Kevin?
great. How are you?
Doing well. Guys, tonight we have an exciting show for you. We're going to talk about our favorite foods, rides, and shows in each of the four parks. I'm looking forward to picking the brains and see what everyone on the screen likes. So, guys, so you guys get to know the Ducks better. I thought we'll come up with a question. And the question is this: if you have a presentation or you're coming up on stage, what is your theme music? So, what are you coming up to the stage as? Say, if you're John, you're a wrestler and you're coming to the ring, right? What music are you coming up to?
Oh man. So I think what I'm going to go with, and there's a lot of good options here, but I think what I would go with is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, because it's one of my all-time favorite songs, but it's fun, it's upbeat. And it just talks about how you keep going, you don't want to stop, you're having too much fun, and that's how I try to live my life. So I think I'm going to go with Don't Stop Me Now.
Nice. Good deal. Jodie?
Well, I've been in this situation before where I had to pick up a walk-up song, and the song that I chose then that I'll probably still choose is "Get Ready, 'Cause Here I Come." It's a classic. I don't like all the newfangled crazy music. A lot of times, I like kind of some old good classic music, and that was clean and upbeat and fun. And I don't know, it's just kind of me. Get ready, 'cause here I come, whether you want me to or not.
That's good.
That's good. That is good. Here you come. Gene, you're coming up. Tag team championship. You're going to the ring.
Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue, for sure.
Ooh, good choice.
Nice. Yeah, you could dance around the ring on that one. I'll take it.
Or my daughter does listen to All I Do Is Win, 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 no matter what, before cheer competitions. So maybe that one too. If I was tag team with you, that's what we play, Ronnie.
That's my pre-race song. I listened to that right before. Yeah.
All I do is win, win, win.
By DJ Khaled.
Your hands go up and they stay there.
And they stay there. And they stay there.
Yeah. That is a great one. I forgot about that one. Good job. Good choice.
Kevin, you're coming up to the ring, Intercontinental Championship. It's you. What you coming up in?
If it's just music, it would be Imperial Death March. Imperial March.
It was going to be Star Wars.
Of course.
As everybody probably picked that one out. But if not, probably Enter Sandman, because Metallica is my favorite.
There you go. That's good.
Good deal. Good deal. So I would have to go with something old school. I'm thinking Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride.
Nice.
There you go. Nice.
Old school. I'm coming up to it. It's clean. It's good. Got a nice little beat to it. I'm coming up to it. So, all right, good deal. So, guys, as we said, tonight we're going to talk about our favorite food, ride, and show in each of the parks. 4 parks. When we get to it, what are we looking to experience? What's a must-do each time we go? So, we're going to start with Animal Kingdom. All right, the hottest park in Florida, but to me, one of my favorite. Right. So, Jodie, favorite food, show, and ride in Animal Kingdom.
Want me to give all 3 right away?
How about you give us your favorite food first, and we'll go around with food.
Let's talk about the important stuff. Let's talk about food first. Awesome. So, in my humble opinion, Animal Kingdom has the best food, hands down, of all 4 parks. Even more so than Epcot, which I know those are fighting words, but I'm telling you, food in Animal Kingdom is legit. But no matter what, you're always going to find us hightailing it out to Pandora and going straight to Setui Canteen. We love it there. I love the food there. I typically get the chicken bowl with the hearty salad. And pro tip, I always get all 4 salad dressings because I like them all so much. I can't decide which one I like the best. So I make them give me them all. And then we get a side of the kids' version of the cheeseburger pod to split because I just got to have a little bit of that. I don't want the whole thing, but I got to have a little cheeseburger pod. So that's by far my favorite restaurant in Animal Kingdom, to the point that I have gone before, ordered food, carried it out of the park, brought it to the airport, and brought it through airport security and eaten it through security. That's how much I like it.
That's dedication. But you are right. Love Santula Cantina. Love it.
Love it.
Kevin, where are you going when you're at Animal Kingdom? You want a bite. What are you going to do?
So my experience with Animal Kingdom is not as much as your all. So most of what I'm looking for is advice from you all. But I do really like their barbecue, the barbecue chicken at Flame Tree. So that's really good. I really enjoy a good barbecue chicken. So that's where I'm headed.
Smart choice.
Yeah, that place is pretty good.
It is. I mean, now look, you're gonna have to dodge the birds because they will walk up to the table. But I do like.
They'll try to eat it out of your hand.
Yeah. They're aggressive. I went there last time, and but it was some good barbecue. So you're not wrong, sir. Mean Gene, Animal Kingdom. You need a bite. Where you going?
Yak and Yeti, every day, all day. That's where my family loves. If we're there as a family, that's what we're gonna do. Lettuce wraps. Had some Korean barbecue the last time I was there. It's really good, and we always just really like it.
I have never been to Yak and Yeti. It's on my to-do list.
Yeah, I haven't either. I do want to try it though. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
my daughter loves Asian
there,
food. Loves
really,
chicken
really
fried
good.
rice is her favorite, and so we always make. For her, we usually end up. The last time we were there, we rode a ride that's right close to there. I'll mention it later, but a bunch of times, and then it started raining, and we ran into the restaurant. It was amazing. It was glorious.
That it is. Yeah, I do love the fried rice there. I tell you, that's one of the best things. And the nachos are really good there as well. There's a tuna
nachos at an Asian place. Wow.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Inconceivable. John, Animal Kingdom, where are you going?
So I'm going to Nomad Lounge, and I'm going to get the churros with the delicious vanilla sauce and the strawberry sauce that comes with them. I'm going to get 2 orders of that for me, and then I'll get my family one to split. So that's what I'm doing. I go to Animal Kingdom specifically for that. I love it. It's the only place I can really get churros. Now they have it, I guess, at Coronado, but it's just so good. Plus, then you get that little drink to go with it. I know I'm kind of cheating by mentioning the drinks there too, but just everything about that place. And then you got Tiffin's right next door, so you can get a little appetizer there, then go over to Tiffin's and get a delicious meal. But to answer the question, the short story is I will eat those churros all day, every day, which probably explains why I'm a bigger fella. But they're delicious.
And nothing wrong with being a bigger fella. And those churros are delicious. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go with Jodie because I do love Santula Cantina. It is phenomenal. I just like the environment. I like, you can pre-order, you go in there, and I can't just pick one thing, right? Sometimes I'll just get the hamburger pods, or sometimes I'll just say, you pick the protein, you pick your rice or your noodles, and you kind of build your own bowl. But love Santula Cantina, and they have some great drinks there as well.
Yeah, my husband loves the green beer there.
See, I'm with Tim.
I'm with Tim. Yep.
I'm with Tim. If Tim likes it, we all like it.
Yeah.
So
there's not bacon in it though. So.
So we ate already. We're good, but now we want to jump on a ride. So Animal Kingdom, favorite ride. What do you have, Kevin?
So mine is probably Kilimanjaro Safari. I love, Everest, but, being able to be up and close with the animals and being able to see them in a different perspective than you would at just any old zoo. I mean, it's really cool to be able to see them up close and personal and know that they're safe, the animals are safe, and you're safe as well, is the way they design it. It's really creative. A lot of other zoos around the world have taken note of how they've done that and allowed people to experience, wildlife a lot closer than they used to back in the old days with everything in a cage and you can't really see them, and it's just not good for the animals. But they've developed a lot of creative ways to make that more comfortable for the animals and for the people watching. So and also, anything that has good educational properties is always a really good investment of time. So that's why I'm picking for my favorite.
Well, and they have such cool animals too. They have pretty diverse set of animals that you don't see like at our Detroit Zoo. We don't have elephants. We don't have Okapi or Campy, whatever they're called. We don't have a lot of that stuff. And like you
Way
don't
to be educated when you're on that safari, John. You're like, yeah, that animal.
But the crazy thing is,
Detroit, man.
the Detroit Lions.
we have elephants just roaming the streets in Detroit. It's really gotten weird here now.
Oh. But
Yeah,
I heard
that
really
was
cool,
crazy.
Crime is a big problem out there in Detroit right now. It's just crazy. And I like about that ride is that it's always different, right? Depending on number one, your driver and the animals. So I think John makes a great point because some animals are out sometimes they're not. So it's awesome. Mean Gene, Animal Kingdom. You just finished eating. You're gonna see if you have a strong stomach. Where are you going? What's your ride?
Well, I'm probably going to ride the ride before I eat, but I'm going to ride Everest about 17 times in a row. That's what I'm going to do.
Disco Yeti, man, you can't go wrong.
No, sir.
I struggled with that one. That's not what I landed on, but I actually struggled on that one because
I know what you landed on.
I rode Everest, and then marathon weekend we stopped on the full and we rode it. So that was one of my best memories for that race. Jodie, what about you? Where are you going?
Well, I was stuck between Flight of Passage and Everest because I love them both dearly for different reasons, but I got to go with Everest. And I'm with Gene. I got to go before I eat. And I also am going to ride it 17 times. And we had a huge family fail this past trip. We were at Animal Kingdom. We got in line for Flight of Passage. The ride broke down. We were in line for 2 hours. We made it over to Everest. We get in line for Everest. Kaboom, the skies lit up, thunder, lightning, craziness. Ride had to shut down. And it's my little guy's very favorite ride, and we didn't get on it the entire trip. We didn't go back at all. So for 5 days in Disney, we never rode Everest, and he still brings it up like we didn't even ride Everest. So I love it. It's one of my favorites. I know one of these days I'm going to get too old to be riding it, but I hope it's open for marathon weekend. I'm dying to do that. I would love to ride that in the middle of the race. I think that would be pretty cool. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they closed it for this year's marathon weekend. We couldn't believe it. I mean that's one of the main things to do. So when they closed it, I was like, I can't believe they closed it. That's one of the things.
But maybe I should get
we
some
made
paper
up
towels and lay down on the seat so the person after me doesn't have to sit in my sweaty grossness, because that could mean I would feel bad for the person after me. So
yeah, because that's pretty far into the race. I mean, what was that, like 16, 17 miles?
Yeah, that's the halfway point. They will be getting some residual odors and fluids on that seat. I'm just saying. John, what about you, sir? Where are you going?
Okay, so I was really torn between the Safari and Expedition Everest, and I think I'm going to go with Expedition Everest just because it's such a fun ride to me. Like the whole going backwards thing and everything is awesome, and I have good memories of riding it with my kids because my 2 oldest ones love it. So whenever we go on it, my daughter brings like a hair tie, and apparently, when you get to the top, when you get stuck there before you go backwards, there's like a pile of hair ties out there, and I guess it's a thing. So I don't know, just fun stuff like that. And going through the queue for it, you see all like kind of the memorabilia and stuff of the climbers and that kind of stuff. It's really cool to me. So I think that's one of my favorite rides in all of Disney. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Real Yeti scalps and real Yeti footprints.
Yeah, there are real Yetis there. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. I wondered how those all those hair clips got up there. We see it's John's daughter. So now we know.
It's because every trip, and we go, we used to go 3 times a year or whatever. So it would cost us more in hair ties than flights.
Well, I struggled with it as well because there's such the fond memories of the Yeti and Everest, but I'm gonna go with Flight of Passage. And I know it's screens and I know it's all that kind of good stuff, but I can tell you it's my wife's favorite ride, and it's one that we have to go every time we go. So I love Flight of Passage. I love the movie. Love the 3D of it all, and it's amazing when you kind of get to the top and when you look over to the side and you can see the rows and rows of people that are on there as well. It's just a great ride for me. So I'm going to go with that one as my favorite. But now we go to show. You're over there. I got time for a show. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say 2 words: Tumble Monkeys. They're back. I love them. Glad they're back. Festival of the Lion King is where I'm going when and we go every time, right? When we go for a show. Love the fire breather and he's spinning the things and like I say, we've got the Tumble Monkeys. You can't go wrong with that. So that's my shot. Gene, where are you going? Which show are you going to?
Same, bro. Lion King, baby, every time.
Boom. Tumble Monkeys. That's just saying. It is what it is. Kevin, where are you going?
So mine is actually running through during marathon weekend. I know that's not technically an advertised show, but now that they've moved, they used to have the 13-mile, the halfway point for the marathon used to be right in the middle of Animal Kingdom, and that was a really fun place to be, watching people scramble onto the ride onto Expedition Everest, and just seeing people and watching people get going through and kind of helping each other move forward and keep going. And so I kind of cheated on my guess, but that's my favorite show.
Okay.
I don't think it's cheap, man. I mean, that's what it is. We love that halfway point there, right? So that's a great point for it. So Jodie, what about you? Favorite show?
I have a special place in my heart, and I'm embarrassed that I don't know the name, but the singers in Africa who play the music and sing near Harambe Market, and I know they have a name of that band. For the life of me right now, I can't remember it. Anyone know their name?
No, but anyway, they are awesome.
They are incredible. I love them. They sang "Happy Birthday" to me a couple years ago. I was just in seventh heaven. I know they're not there anymore, so I guess I'm also cheating a little bit, Kevin, because mine isn't a current choice. But I do hope they come back because I love them. And I'm not much for shows. I get antsy. I don't want to sit that long for 15, 20-minute show, but I can sit and watch them perform for a long time. I really enjoy their instruments, their songs, and they get the crowd involved and dancing, and I love them. So that's my answer.
Good deal. Yeah, I wish they come back as well. That's a sweet little place right there where they usually perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just such like a fun way to add ambiance and that type of thing to the park. Yeah. It's just really cool. It makes you feel good.
It does.
Yeah. So what about you, John? You catching the show?
So yeah, with my 5 kids in tow, the attention spans are very short. So it's difficult sometimes to catch a show. But I'm torn between Nemo, which I think has been ended now, which is really sad because I loved that one because it was like almost like Broadway quality.
I think they brought it back.
Did they?
Yeah, it's back.
I want to see it.
It is back.
Okay. Because I need to see that next time. But I'm kind of going down the cheating road here too, because I'm going to mention that one. But I'm going to say the Feathered Friends in Flight, the bird show, is my favorite. I just love all the exotic birds and stuff. And they do really cool, like they have them fly right over your head and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's my favorite. I look forward to that one. And it used to be themed after Up, and then I think they changed it a year or two ago. But it's still a very similar show, and I love it.
I didn't know you could actually go to that show, when you're walking from Africa to Asia, that little point right there, they have the show there. But then for a point in time, by the Tree of Life, they were doing a show over there also with the birds, like the birds would fly. I didn't know that they were doing it by the Tree of Life, that show. That was really interesting. We have them fly all over, and they had the different, not zookeepers, but whatever they are explaining about the birds, and that was pretty cool. My daughter freaked out because she does not like birds, so she was so not into it. But the rest of us thought it was really cool and got to learn about them and hear about them. So that's an underrated show. I really like that one.
Yeah, and you're right. The one that's kind of out more in the open, where you don't have to go sit in the theater and stuff. It's cool because it's just, I don't know if, I'm sure it's planned by Disney, but it seems spontaneous when they have it and when the birds are flying around and stuff. So yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah. In fact, they had it by the Tree of Life in May when I was there. And it's funny because Kevin was outside walking and then the birds were flying over Kevin. It was like, this is something you just don't get to see. right? It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, great, literally great shows. I think we've hit Animal Kingdom. We hit it hard. We ate, we rode our rides, and we had our shows. But now we're going to go over to Epcot, right? So we're going to Epcot, the food capital, I guess, of Disney. We think about the parks, but food, Epcot. Mean Gene, where are you going, sir?
Food at Epcot there's some of these that were a little difficult for me. Epcot was not, because I'm going to the Yorkshire County Fish Shop.
What are you getting there, Gene?
You getting the chicken?
Get fish. Right. I'll take the beef. Fish and chips, baby, all the way.
I do love the fish and chips there. No doubt. We get it every time. So I think that's
I like
a good
eating
choice.
it in the dark.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're eating. We might be eating beef. We don't even know.
Right.
But I knew we were eating it that night.
No, it was chicken, but it was dark. Lonnie and I were there for this last race weekend, and where we were sitting, there were no lights. It was dark. I couldn't see my food, but it was still good. Still good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my question, my follow-up question. Do you use malt vinegar, tartar sauce, or something else on your fish?
Both.
All of the above.
All the above. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Kevin, you're at Epcot. You want a snack? Where are you going, sir?
Well, for a snack, I would go along with Gene and Lonnie for the fish and chips. But for a meal, I would go to San Angel's and get the chicken mole. That's my favorite. That's my favorite dish at Disney. It's so good.
That's a good
I
call.
think you said you figured out a way to make it. Is that right?
No, I would love to be able to make it. That's got to be a very tough one.
Wait, because we were talking about it on, I think, the food episode, right? And,
yeah.
Or did you find a place that had it or something? I don't know. I'm just making things up.
I don't think they always have it on the menu. I know it's just on the dinner menu, and it takes a really long time to make, but it is worth it. It is so good.
Nice.
Never had it, but I want to try it. I know you've mentioned it a couple of times, so
yeah,
I'm interested. First I was intrigued, but now you have my attention. I mean, Jodie, what about you? You at Epcot? Where are you gonna eat?
Well, I do love those fish and chips from Yorkshire Fish Shop, but my daughter and I have a soft spot for the France Pavilion, and in particular the ice cream and the warm brioche bun. So if you're not in the Remy side of the France Pavilion, but in the original part of the France Pavilion, there's a tiny little ice cream shop on your way back to the place that sells the sandwiches and the panini, not the paninis, but the baguettes and such. It's on your left-hand side. And the line's always really long, and they have ice cream, but you can ask for them to press it in a warm brioche. So it's this hot roll with this cold ice cream in the inside. Oh, it's so good. So good.
Are you sure you're not talking about a cronut?
It's not.
I'm just joking.
But we also tried the
I
maple
want to clear
popcorn for
something
the
up,
first
too.
time this trip, which I did not know that was included in your popcorn bucket refill purchase. So that's in Canada, and that also, we all became pretty big fans of that too. So if you get a popcorn bucket, if you're in Epcot, you can refill it in Canada with maple popcorn. I did not know that, and I wish I knew that earlier in the trip, because we would have been there a lot more.
That's really good to know, because maple anything is delicious.
I did not know that. So you know what? Cue the press music. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That is an awesome tip.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought I didn't know it was part of that, because I keep a popcorn bucket with me at all times. I did not.
Yeah. Well, also the popcorn bucket in Galaxy's Edge, not the flavored one, but the one that's multicolored. But it's just popcorn with food coloring on it. Like, I think we all thought it was going to have a flavor to it. We're like, oh, this is just butter popcorn. But the maple popcorn, that was pretty legit, and I was pretty excited to find out it was included in the same package.
Yeah, that tip could make me buy one of those giant popcorn buckets and drag it around the park all day.
Yeah, we.
Jeff talks about popcorn with its Fruity Pebbles flavored, and I still don't know where that is, but I'm gonna have that next time I go.
Yeah, I don't know either. We got talked into purchasing the Skyliner popcorn bucket this last trip. I don't know how we got roped into that one, but whatever.
It's the Disney Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
You gotta have
Kids.
John, what about you? You at Epcot? You got to eat?
Yeah, so I'm going the same place as Jodie. I'm going to go to, I'll show my culture here. L'Artisan des Glaces. L'Artisan des Glaces. And my daughter's going to yell at me for this one too, because she's big on the macaroon versus macaron. I guess they're two different things, and I don't know which is which. So I'm going to say it's the macaron ice cream sandwich that they have there, but it's delicious. It's like a macaron, like the little kind of sandwich type thing. But it's got ice cream in the middle instead of like the frosting or whatever they usually have. And it is absolutely delicious. Like that's the one thing I have to get every time I go to Disney or I come home angry. But the problem is the line. Jodie, you're right. It's like it can be an hour long and they close early. So I went at like 5:15 one time and they're like, we close at 5. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
So
we got in line one time. We got there at like 9:02 when they closed at 9, and they were very strict. They would not let us in.
Yeah.
That was the night where I think I told you all we had a bad Epcot night. That was bad.
I mean, they are French, which I mean, you know.
Yeah, there's a healthy dislike, I think, of the American tourists. So yeah, I can see why they did that. But yeah, no, that is my favorite thing. I would fly to Orlando for the day just to get one of those and come back if my wife would let me.
Yeah, not after 9. You'd be like, "Are you closed?" They'd be like, "But of course."
Well, and that maybe I could just call home and be like, "Sorry, honey, now I have to stay at the Poly for the night. Get a couple Lapu Lapus. I'll hit the Artisan de Glaces first thing in the morning, and then hit the road."
You changed that name like 3 times.
Yeah, I know. I can't pronounce it. It doesn't.
But I'm glad you even know the name. I just know where it is. I don't even know the name of it. I'm like the place on the left hand side when you're walking back to get your baguette.
I had to look it up earlier. So
right.
I'm glad you did your research.
Yeah.
Hey, the Google machine is that is. You know,
those interwebs.
The interwebs. I would go with Gene because there has not been a single time that I haven't got the fish and chips. But if I'm looking at food wise and we're going to sit down, I like Garden Grill. It's just one of those places that a lot of people forget about it. It's up there, everybody living in the land upstairs. Love that restaurant. It's a character dining experience. And I went there for Thanksgiving one day, and I think that's cemented it for me. When I went there for Thanksgiving, it just had too many characters, right? Because you're trying to eat, but the characters were all over. It was good. But then again, I mean, the food was excellent. And I think it's one of those things that, it was a family meal. We sat down, we all ate, we had fun, we talked about our trip. So that kind of cemented that memory for me that this was awesome. So Garden Grill is, I know the food sometimes say, it's just kind of buffet style, but they bring it out. But to me, it's just the memories that this is one of my favorites.
I really hope they bring that breakfast back, because that breakfast is a family favorite of ours. Those cinnamon, whatever it is, it's more than a roll.
It's a plate, cinnamon plate.
It's a whole, I don't even know what it is. It's phenomenal, but I really hope they bring that breakfast back, because that is one of our all-time favorites.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Good call.
Well, thank you. So,
hey, honorable mention though is anything in South America. Just I want to make sure.
I mean, that is the most popular pavilion I've heard.
Yeah,
that's South America.
Can't pass it.
I think D23. The rumor is that they're going to expand that because so many people go there.
Yep, so many people.
So, we're in Epcot, right? Rides. You want to grab a ride, John? What you thinking, man? What you going to jump on?
Man, all right. So if I'm with my family, we're gonna go to the Frozen Ever After ride, because they just all love that one. And I mean, I like it too, especially when you have Oaken in the glass and he's like waving at you at in the queue. It's like, yoo-hoo. That's really cute. I love it. But if I'm not with my family, or they're gonna give me like a half hour by myself, I'm going to Soarin', because it's just so cool. Like the way they make you feel like you're flying and you get to see all those cool things. And then the smells. I absolutely love that part of it. You get really, I don't know what the right word is, engaged, I guess, in the environment. And it's just awesome to have, as you're swooping down, you smell the orange trees and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. So that's my favorite.
And they have elephants on it too. So you don't see those zoo. So there you go.
Yeah, no, we don't have them roaming around Detroit anymore. So I have to go to Disney to see them. And it's good to see them as you're in their natural environment, swooping down on them from a hang glider.
Yeah. So Jodie, you got a ride at Epcot?
Well, yeah, before this past trip, I would have been right there with you, John, with Soarin'. It's one of our family favorites. We love it. But after trying Guardians, I am Team Guardians now. That was the most amazing, fantastic experience. We rode it 3 times. I would have gone more. It was pretty cool. So I even watched the movie before we went, so I knew what the heck the stuff was. So because I don't know any of that Marvel stuff, but yeah, it was awesome. It was to me, I think it lives up to the hype. And I had just come from that other place that has some pretty darn cool roller coasters, 2 in particular that blew my mind. Velocicoaster and Hagrid's roller coaster, those were both phenomenal. And I'm telling you, Guardians holds up to it. Just like it was really cool. But I won't tell you.
No, I'm excited to try it. I haven't even watched any of the YouTube videos or anything because I don't want to really know. And usually I want those kind of spoilers, but yeah, I can't wait to try that. Everything I've heard has been extremely positive.
Yeah, we loved it.
And I think you're the only one that went on it in our group here.
Yeah, I think so.
Joining us. I haven't gone on there, but you guys know my love-hate relationship with the AP previews for it. That's all I'm going to say. But I do want to experience that one as well. So,
we got boarding group 1. Boarding group 1.
That's
Wow.
How did you get that? Were you like on like at 6?
Jedi mind tricks. I was, I hang around with Kevin and Jean all this time. I've been learning all those Jedi things. I got some good Jedi mind tricks.
Like it.
Well, hopefully we'll all get a chance to ride it for Marathon Weekend. That's the hope.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make it happen. Some kind of way we're gonna hop on this ride.
Oddly enough, I know this sounds crazy, but I kind of hope that they still keep the boarding groups because I like having the sign time to get there as opposed to like waiting for 3 hours in line. So I may be the only person who likes boarding groups, but they seem to be going through them pretty quickly. So I don't know. We'll see.
I will take boarding groups as well. That or just buying the individual lightning lane, but I'm not gonna wait 3 hours, especially standing on our feet after knowing we got to run, right? So I won't do that. So hopefully they keep those boarding groups as well and individual lightning lanes. My hope is that we can get to ride it twice when we're together. All right, Kevin, you going to Epcot?
All right.
You got a ride? Which it's jumping on?
So I know it will be Guardians whenever I get to ride that eventually, but I have to pick my first Disney ride ever from the late 80s, and that's Figment, Journey into Imagination. That's the one that was my first ever Disney experience. Before Magic Kingdom, anything else. My family went down there when I was little, and so we did that, and that's always going to be my first impression of Disney, and it's something that I always have to ride anytime I go. So I know it's had some good years and bad years, but I think that's one that I'm always going to spend some time on, and fortunately, there's not too much of a wait, so you can pretty much hop on and off that one pretty quick.
Yeah, it's pretty much always a walk-on because we love that one too. Especially my 6-year-old Carly, she loves it. So every time we go, we have to go on that. And yeah, it's awesome because at most you wait like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and then it's that cool when you get off the ride. That's that little station where you can do all the experiments and stuff. That's always cool. And it's usually, I hate to say it, it's kind of empty. I hope they do something. I don't want it to close, but it's a great ride. I want them to do something to kind of Figment's popular. You can see from the popcorn bucket fiasco, right? So people love Figment. He should get a little bit more love in the park.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Gene, where are you going?
Yeah,
for your
you
ride?
stole mine, Kevin. Figment was mine too. But
Gene, what is a Figment?
It's Dragon. I'm just going to tell you the truth, Kevin. I thought Figment, I was going to use that as a joke, as like my favorite attraction, because I didn't realize it was a ride. I thought it was an attraction. Never been on Figment. I don't even know I have no concept of what Figment is. I mean, I know the dragon, but the attraction, the ride, I just, I didn't know what it was. My favorite ride is Mission Space, without a doubt. I love it. I know not everybody does. Some people don't like, the way it makes them feel. But I love it. I like the more intense one, and that's one that I make a beeline for every time I go to Epcot. I know, just like you said, Kevin, it will be Guardians, when that's open. Or whenever I'm able to go, I just haven't had a chance yet to ride it since it's been open.
Yeah. Well, we know Gene likes Figment, but he's going to go with a Mission Space kind of edge Figment out. So there we go. And for me, guys, I'm just going to say, Ratatouille. I thought about Soarin'. I love Soarin', but I do love that kind of dark ride of Ratatouille. When it's working, you catch it at a good time, and the line's not too long. I just like that kind of attraction. It reminds me a lot of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, right? So, but just for that, the French part of it. So, so there we go.
It smells too, so it's like Soarin'. It's got
It does, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The croissant.
You get a little water, thrown on you from the mop. You can't go wrong with that.
I love that ride.
You get the heat from the oven. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think Gene has been on there, so we're going to wait and let Gene. That'd be his new favorite ride.
It is a really cute ride, though. And I love the movie, so I really enjoyed it too. But yeah, it's a fun ride. I went on it by myself marathon weekend because I got to Epcot before. I was meeting like Jeff and Carly there and some other folks, and I got there before everybody, so I just went on it by myself. And I bought like the one-time pass, the lightning lane thing. And I felt a little bit awkward on it by myself because they put me with like a family. So, but I still had fun with it. And yeah, it's a great ride.
Yeah, it is. I had a joke where I, join another family, but I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna save that one for later.
Lonnie, you don't remember anything, man. I actually rode Ratatouille with you. Thank you.
All right. You know what? You're right, Gene. I'm sorry. It just totally slipped my mind. But the funny thing about it is he's not lying. We did ride it together. We rode it that night, the Wednesday night. Now that I'm thinking about it, we have a picture outside. I'm sorry, Gene. I have the worst memory. Blame my head, not my heart. That was a special time for me. So we did Animal Kingdom. We did Epcot. Now we're going to let's go to Hollywood Studios. We'll save Magic Kingdom to the end. We're at Hollywood Studios. We want to grab a bite to eat. John, where are you going, sir?
So Hollywood Studios, I'm going to go to 50s Primetime, and I'm getting the, they have like a sampler platter, I guess I'd call it, with the fried chicken, the meatloaf, and, oh man, there's something else on it that's delicious too. Pot roast, yes. And it is so delicious. I love it, and I want to go there every time we go to Hollywood Studios, but that place takes forever for our family. So we don't usually go as often as I would like. But when I have the chance, I definitely want to go there and get that because the fried chicken is amazing. And so is the pot roast and meatloaf. So good.
That is a solid choice. We'll talk about that in a second. Jodie, what about you? Where are you going?
We just went to 50s Primetime for the first time ever this last trip. It was pretty good. I have one that no one ever talks about, and we love. And you'll be proud of me, Kevin. We love Docking Bay 7. I have a tendency. I can't eat heavy, greasy food at theme parks. It really kind of gets to me. So Docking Bay 7 has a tuna poke bowl that's delicious. It's got a vegetarian plant-based meatball dish that's delicious. And it has a roasted chicken salad that's delicious. So my kids love the little chicken fingers there, and it comes with broccoli, not broccolini, but real broccoli, and they love that. So people give it a bad rap, but we really like Docking Bay 7, and those 3 items are lighter and they don't weigh us down, and we like it.
Are you sure that's not a pork that you're eating? Maybe.
Maybe it wasn't pork. I don't know. Let's not talk about it.
It tastes like chicken. It doesn't make a difference.
There you go.
They all taste the same.
That poke bowl sounds delicious, though. I'm gonna have to try that next time we go.
Really good. I mean, you would never think to go to Galaxy's Edge and eat a poke, but it's very, very good.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to our list for next trip. I got to try that.
Yeah. All right, good deal, Kevin.
Mine's pretty easy. Definitely Star Wars, of course, and I'm going for the Ronto wraps. I could eat those all day long. They're so good. I've made them at home so many times during COVID, and I ate them so much that I almost got sick of them. But anytime I go Hollywood Studios, I'm going straight there and getting the Ronto roaster every time.
That's a good choice. I would like John. I was going back and forth. I was like, do I want 50s prime time or do I want the Ronto roasters? And they actually won out. The Ronto roasters did, because I mean you can have breakfast there. That's pretty good with the egg and the meat.
Really
or you can do lunch, and it's quick. It's not as long as 50s prime time, right? So I'm going to have to agree with you on that one and go with Ronto roasters. But if you have more time, it's a laid back trip. To John's point, I do love 50s prime time as well in that sampler platter. So I'm cheating, I guess. I'm doing it all.
Yeah, you might as well get both, right? You're only down there every once in a while. You got to do it.
Take one for the team. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Gene, where are you going, sir? Now, Gene and I did go to Ronto Roaster, so I'll put that out there as well. I remember that, Gene. We went for lunch. But where are you going?
I'm glad you remember that. Yeah, so the last time I was there, I had dinner at Mama Rosa's, and I really, really liked that place. It's just good Italian food, but I'm gonna say 50s primetime. Really, it's just I have great memories from there. My first dopey, we went there. I had fried chicken, which is, that's just good old comfort food. I needed that, during that tough time in my life, and so it's just good stuff. I haven't been able to get my family there though. We can't get in there. We have sort of a short window when we've tended to go for cheer stuff, but that's my goal, is to get my family there.
Yeah. I agree. You're right. That was a special time. We went over there for dope. I think we went that Saturday before the Fool. Don't eat. I don't recommend that. Don't go eat a bunch of chicken and sides and then go run a Fool. But it was pretty cool.
I have a question for y'all. So I don't mean to go off script, but there's this might be somebody's favorite. I don't know if we've gotten everybody. I can't keep track. But I've always wondered about the Brown Derby. Never eaten there. I've always wondered if it's any good, and I'm just curious. While we're talking about food, if it's not anybody's choice, if anybody's got any experience.
I mean, Oh, go ahead, Jodie.
Oh, sorry, John. I've eaten there twice. Once for dinner and once at the outdoor lounge. I got the salad because that's what everyone raves about. No, it was good. It didn't blow me away, but it was a good Cobb salad. I think I enjoyed the time that we sat outside in the lounge and had more appetizer type things. It's great people watching, as Caleb said earlier. There's some great people watching at Disney. We had some great people watching, and I think we just split some apps, and it was pretty good. I didn't rave about it. I think I enjoyed my food at 50s primetime more. My only tip there was, if you get a salad, be sure to ask for the dressing on the side, or else you will be lifting up your lettuce and the dressing will fall off of it. But yeah, it was, Brown Derby was good.
I was a victim of high expectations. It was just, I had heard a lot of people talking a lot of good things about it. I expected a lot. And then, like Jodie, like you said, I got the Cobb salad too. And I thought it was okay. Like definitely wasn't bad. It was, I think, on the better side of Cobb salads I've had, but I expected it to be so much better. Where I think 50s primetime, the first time we went, I was like, I don't know about this place. And it ended up being amazing. So, I think going in with expectations because of the price and everything of that place, I expected more. But the drinks were, well, I should say drink. I had one drink because they were like $1 million, but it was delicious. That was really good.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that, John, because when Gene and I went to 50s primetime, we didn't have reservations, right? We were with some lizards, and they said, "Hey, you guys want to come, eat at 50s primetime with us?" And it was like, we'll be there. We'll just go. And we had no expectations, and we're pleasantly surprised, right? We had a good server. He stayed in character. It was just a nice experience. I think that's something that, and I admire about you when you say you didn't even look at Guardians. You want to just be surprised. Sometimes, I've heard so many great things about that salad at Brown Derby. Everybody says get the salad, but look, I trust you guys. And you're saying it's just a good salad, right? So you're right. You have to temper your expectations. I think that's the message for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we did food. Now we're at Hollywood Studios. Kevin's going to probably still be in Galaxy's Edge. We're going to see. What's your favorite ride in Hollywood Studios, Kevin?
It's not Star Wars.
What?
It's Slinky Dog.
Oh, nice. Good.
No, I love, of course, I love the Star Wars rides, but the most fun roller coaster I've ever been on, Slinky Dog, every time. It's one that you can ride over and over, and it's just so much fun. And being like you're in the backyard with a bunch of toys and stuff like that, it's a lot of fun. If I could ride that all day, I think I could. And it's not so bad that it would make you sick to ride it over and over. It's just a lot of fun.
And it's so smooth.
It doesn't jerk you around and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So like my old man body with my back that hurts after Space Mountain so bad, I feel great after Slinky Dog.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like Slinky Dog? That is probably one of the coolest coasters there. I think it's way better than Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I know it's.
I agree.
I think it's way better.
Yeah.
Jodie, you got a ride. What are you gonna do?
I'm a Tower of Terror girl. I love the classic. We know where the photo op is, and so it's always my family's big discussion of what are we going to do for the picture this time. My dad used to watch the Twilight Zone when I was a kid. I mean, he wouldn't let me watch it, but I'd watch the very beginning intro and stuff, so I have good memories of that. But I love that ride. I wish it was a little longer. You're up and down pretty quick, and that's the end of it. I love hearing other people on the ride, in particular those who have never been on it before. Their reactions are just phenomenal. Or little kids who have never been on. I don't know. It's just it's nothing special. It's an up and down ride, but I think we have good memories there, and I love the cast members in that queue, and they're great. So, but that's one that the line has been super long lately because I think some of the elevators are down. So, between Slinky Dog and Tower, trying to get on those two, those lines are killer at Hollywood Studios.
Uh-huh.
And Tower of Terror, it might be like the best themed ride I've ever seen. And I haven't been to, the other park down the road that we don't like to discuss, but so I don't know about like Harry Potter World and stuff, how that is. But I think Tower of Terror, you're just transported to that that time period, and you're fully engulfed in it. It's just awesome.
And this time they had, when you were coming up the walkway before you got inside, Goofy and Max were hiding behind the corner, and they would come out and scare people. And Max and Goofy had this chicken, and this little rubber chicken, and they would squeeze them. They would say like, "You're chicken," and you're not going. I mean, we were dying. I mean, it was so funny. Such a fun little twist that they had at the top. I've never seen them do that before. It was really fun. So
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, Goofy is a bellhop for Tower of Terror, right? I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Gene, where are you going? You got a ride. What are you doing?
Man, I'm going so many, Hollywood Studios is my favorite park. So many good rides. I'm going to go with Smuggler's Run. I've only ridden it twice. But I mean, it just brings me, I'm a Star Wars character. I'm Han Solo. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Hands down.
All right. Gene has dropped the mic. He is Han Solo.
Never telling nods.
Where are you going, man? You got a ride.
Right.
I can hear it.
So there's two rides I absolutely love at Hollywood Studios, and it's almost like picking a favorite child, but also like picking a favorite child. I have one, and it rotates by the day, depending on, who has angered me and who's been nice to me that day. And today I'm going with Slinky Dog. Because, like Kevin said, it's so fun. You can ride it a million times. You're not going to get sick because it's not too crazy. It's just plain fun. And you get like cool views of like Galaxy's Edge. So I remember when they were building Galaxy's Edge,
yes.
Me and my kids are on it and we could see it and we got so excited getting off the ride. Like, yeah, did you see they're building this and blah, blah, blah. It was just, It was really cool because that was a view that you just really couldn't get from anywhere else in the park. But also I'm a huge Toy Story nerd. Like I just love Toy Story. So, that whole land, just really, I love it. And and Slinky Dog's, that's one of my favorites. So I'm going to go with that today.
One of the coolest memories I have from Marathon Weekend, I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018, but running the course, there's a semi truck pulling through World Drive or somewhere around there, and it had Rex on it, on the truck. They were bringing Rex in for
That's
Slinky
so
Dog. That was pretty cool.
That's really sweet. Man.
One of my pro tips for people for going to Toy Story Land, I brought that little umbrella this year, not necessarily for rain, but to keep the sun out. And I'm telling you, Toy Story Land in particular,
Yes,
we line for Slinky Dog, even though we had a Fast Pass or whatever, Genie Plus or whatever, that line was still blasted sun. Having that umbrella to shade us was key because it was hot. It was hot.
Yeah, I remember when they had to add those little umbrellas, but yet still, you're at the surface of the sun when you're standing there waiting for that line. So for me, love Slinky Dog. However, I'm gonna go with Jodie. Tower of Terror is the best ride. It just is. You take everything that she said, why she likes about it, and then what John said about the queue. You put them together. That's my thoughts on it. The queue is fantastic. I love Twilight Zone. I used to watch it with my dad. It's just a total experience, right? So that is my favorite ride there, and I really like it at night too because it's a whole different thing when you're riding it at night, right? When it opens up and you're looking out at everything. So it's just an awesome ride. It's a great experience. So that's my ride.
And have you guys ever heard the story about how it was developed and everything? They actually had to develop a new elevator system and work with I forget what that main elevator company is, but it's pretty cool if you can find the story behind it. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, Kevin, it's probably right up your alley.
It was, yeah. That was pretty cool to see because they actually are pulling you more than you're falling.
Yeah. So it's just fun to learn that kind of stuff about it. I don't know. It's a cool ride. But yeah, and it's completely randomized, right? So every time you ride it, it's going to be a new experience.
Yeah.
Fun fact, though, when you see the ghost in there, if you look at the little girl, she's holding a Mickey doll, a stuffed Mickey.
Really?
Yeah. So, all right. So we're at Hollywood Studios. We got our food. We got our favorite rides. We're going to catch a show, right? John, where you going? What kind of show are you going to catch?
Oh man. Okay. So I am going to go with, I love the Frozen sing along because the snow coming down and it's fun. And I have a bunch of little girls. So, they love that and they have fun. But this is another way of me cheating on this by saying that. And then also more than that though, I love Fantasmic. I love fireworks. That has a little bit of fireworks in it, but then the show at night and the music behind it, you have all those characters coming on the boat and stuff. It's just really cool. The whole plot, I guess, the story behind it, everything. I like Fantasmic.
Okay. Now, is it back yet? I know they were.
I don't know actually.
I think
it wasn't there when we were there in February, and I was kind
It
of.
wasn't there last month.
Yeah, I think they said toward the end of the year. They didn't give a timeline, but I know they were getting. It has to come back. That is great, and it will come back. They promised it's coming back, so that's a great one. All right, Kevin, what about you, sir?
So my favorite of all time, still, it's not there anymore because Galaxy's Edge took its spot. But Lights, Motors, Action was always my favorite. Now that that's not there, I actually really like watching the Jedi training over by in between Indiana Jones and Star Tours. There, it's always fun to watch the kids fight Darth Vader or Kylo Ren or whoever it is that's coming out. But just watching a little kid pick up a lightsaber and swing it against Darth Vader, that's always pretty fun to see.
Yeah. There's a video floating around. I have to send it to you when this little girl was dressed as, you might have saw it, she was dressed as a Jedi. And when Darth Vader came out, she like bowed down and gave him his lightsaber. It is the cutest thing. I tell you. This girl
That's awesome.
Gene, you want to catch a show, man? Where are you going?
So I like the Muppets. Just it's been there, for a long time, and I just enjoy it. I was gonna say Rise because to me it's not really a ride. It's really more of an attraction because it's not a thrill ride. But I'm not gonna cheat. The Muppets, but also like the Monsters Incorporated, Laugh Factory. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's
it. But it's not in that park.
It is in Hollywood. It's not in that park. I knew that. I knew it when I said it. It wasn't in that dang part. I thought it was, though.
That's a good place for it, though. It would fit in better there than in Tomorrowland, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would go great there, Gene. Great looking out.
Well, so that's why, because it would go great there.
Armchair Imagineer. I like it.
Should be.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Jodie.
I knew it. I just had time to look it up, though, because I have written in my notes Rise, and I was like, you know what? They're going to consider that's a ride. So I didn't have time to look it up. Dang it.
Yeah. So, Jodie, we're in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that park.
Where would you go?
Well, I am a Muppets girl through and through. I grew up in the 70s. I love that, but it desperately needs to be updated. It's been the same since 1981, before the park even opened. I mean, the hairstyles at the end. Just give the Muppets some love. Please, people, give the Muppets some love. So, but I'm going to go with John. I love a good evening show. I love Fantasmic. And I like Fantasmic because you can sit. It's the only evening show where you have a place to sit. I can have a beverage in my hand and relax at the end of the night instead of boxing out the people left and right of me trying to get my space. So that's, I think, why I like Fantasmic a lot, because you have a place for your tush and you can sit there and not have to be pushed and shoved and wiggled and moved. And, I love Magic Kingdom fireworks, but gosh, in the evenings, people can get really crazy and I get a little panicky with that. So, but hopefully Fantasmic comes back sometime. I mean, it's been a while, so.
Good deal. Fingers crossed. I'm going to round it out with Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
It's a very good one.
Love that one. And look, it eats up a lot of people, which is pretty good. And you can still sit down. And it's not, even though it's outside, it's not, when you get out from under the sun in there, it's kind of cool. A nice little cool way and a nice little show. So that's mine.
Now that they've added those fans up top, it's much better too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And usually it's not too packed, so you can get you a little bit more room elbow-wise and kind of really relax and enjoy yourself. So, all right. So we did Animal Kingdom, we did Epcot. Gene went to Magic Kingdom, but we haven't gotten there yet. So we did Hollywood Studios. So now we're gonna go to Magic Kingdom, and we're gonna grab some food first. So Magic Kingdom. I would say Gene, but I'm going to go with Jodie because we want to just make sure we're in Magic Kingdom. Jodie, where are you going?
Well, to me, Magic Kingdom has the worst food out of all the parks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love many of the sit-downs. I think Jungle Skipper Canteen is good. I think the quick services are bad, although hot tip, I did find an excellent Greek salad, believe it or not, at Cosmic Rays. Who knew, right? It was really, really good. But I do love the spring rolls, but man, they're greasy. I can only have one every blue moon. So I'm going with, for my daughter, we're going to Columbia Harbor House every time. Now she's going to get the lobster roll. I'm not, because, doing a lot of work in Boston all the time. I like the naked rolls. Those are the ones with just the lobster and a little bit of butter. I don't like all that mayonnaise junk on my lobster roll. So she's going to get the lobster roll. I'm going to get the salmon and rice and green beans, which, hot tip, is my meal before a marathon. So that's what I'm going to be eating on Saturday before the marathon. Salmon, rice, and green beans. It's delicious, it's light, and it doesn't upset my stomach. I'm going to get it with a side of Hush Puppies because they're pretty darn good. And I just like being upstairs at Columbia Harbor House and kind of chilling out and looking outside and watching, again, people watching. So that's where I'm going to be.
Good deal. Good deal. I struggled with this one as well because you're right. Magic Kingdom is, is iconic, but it doesn't have really good food. And I thought about saying, okay, what if we include, the resorts that are walking area, right? Like, so if we say we want to go to California Grill, that's cheap, so we can't do that. But I mean, I struggled to find one there. I really did. So, John, what about you? Where are you going?
So yeah, Magic Kingdom is not great for food, especially when you have dietary restrictions, right? So I'm gonna go with a Dole Whip float. I mean, that's it's perfect. You get the pineapple juice in there, you get the ice cream or the pineapple, swirl stuff, whatever you put in it, it's delicious. And I'm gonna go with that. I think that's my favorite.
So John, when we were there last month, they took the mobile order away from Aloha aisle, and you couldn't mobile order Dole Whips. And I don't know if it was just then or if it's a permanent thing, but that was really disappointing because mobile ordering that and just skipping the line and grabbing it and going was perfect. So hopefully that's not permanent because that was a bummer.
Yeah, because on a hot day, even the mobile order pickup line is long because they basically wait till you get up to the counter and then they make it for you, right? But man, yeah, that would be bad. But yeah, no, I love the Dole. And when they have they had a coconut and pineapple mix one. God, was that last year maybe? That was so good. I'll take anything from there, but I really like the float the best.
Okay. Good deal. Can't go wrong with that.
No, so good.
Kevin.
All right. So I'm going down Main Street and I'm going to hang a left at the end and get me a hot dog, chili dog at Casey's Corner.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Walt Disney's famous chili, and it's really, really good stuff with just being able to get that and hang out there and people watch and that kind of thing. So that's one of my staples. Like most of you said, the food there is not the best, but there are a few good options there. But that's where I'm headed.
And they usually do some kind of special dog for something, right? You can get some with some Cheetos on and stuff like that. But that's one of the best places there, which is why it's always a long line.
Yeah,
right? It's just crazy.
But they mobile order now, so that's good.
Oh, I can mobile out my current dogs. Mean Gene, where are you eating in Magic Kingdom?
You know what's funny is that y'all all said the food's not so great in Magic Kingdom, and I asked my girls, my daughter and my wife, their just their input because I was having a hard time. I like Casey's Corner, but I was trying to think of something, sit down and I've been to be our guest, nothing just jumped out at me that it's like, this is memorable, this is what I got to have. And my wife said, what about the place that we go and it's family style, and she named some different items, and it's Liberty Square Tavern, and it's the kind of food, two of my choices in this deal have been like comfort food, like just traditional, fried chicken or mashed potatoes, just good food. And my family always likes that when we eat there. So that's where I'm going. That's my choice where I'm going if I'm going to sit down.
I mean, that's a pretty good one. I mean, that's some good choices with some comfort food. For me, I like Casey's, but I'm going to deviate. I'm just going to go with popcorn because for some reason, popcorn and Magic Kingdom go together. I don't know if it's right to the right of the castle. There's a stand right there. You can get it at, and it's always hot because it sells so much. So I'm going to go with some popcorn. Call it a wrap. So rides, a lot to choose from. Going for a ride right before we eat. Where are we going? Gene, what you going to jump on?
Man, it's tough, but I think I'm going Haunted Mansion.
Okay. I'm going to say I agree with Gene. I have Haunted Mansion. It's my favorite. Me and my daughter did a after hours event one time, and we just stayed on it. Right. I mean, it rained right before the event, so the parks were empty. And it's probably my favorite experience there with her. It was just us two went by ourselves, and we just stayed on Haunted Mansion and just rode it and rode it and rode it. So love that ride. So I'm going to go with Gene on that one. Sign up for Haunted Mansion.
I'm gonna piggyback on that, and that's my choice as well. So now that we're talking about it, one of my favorite memories is taking my kids on it the first time and convincing them that a ghost was going to come home with us. That was kind of fun. And then getting a picture out by the carriage and then looking at it later and seeing the ghost horse and the ghosts and they got a kick out of that, and so do we. So
yeah. Sometimes it's the memories more than even the rides.
That's right.
Great one. That's a great one. Jodie, what about you?
Well, for me, you just said it. It's memories more than the ride, and that's why it's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad for me. My family, it's my kids' first roller coaster. I've got great memories of, we rode it a million times in a row. One time, I think 7 or 8 times, we got off, got on, got off, got on. There's no photos on it. It's just a classic. It's been there forever. We always got to see the guy in the bathtub. It's just a family fun one. We love that ride. So
get to see the bats at night.
The bats. Yeah.
Okay. John, what about you, man? You bring the family.
Yeah.
Jumping on the ride. Where you going?
All right. So Dumbo has been, I think, all of our kids' first rides at Disney. And even like this past trip, we took Crosby, our baby, on, and he was 3 months old, and he's flying around on an elephant, which, as we know, I love elephants, which luckily we can do it at home a lot. Not as much anymore because the elephants aren't in Detroit as much, but we used to be able to do it more. But no, I that one for the memories, but Splash Mountain is just, that's where I'm gonna go if I have a choice. I love that ride. It's so fun, and it's, I mean, what is it, 15 minutes, something like that? It's you get your money's worth on that one, right? Because it's long, it's so fun. You've got all the little creatures and stuff, and then at the end you get that big drop. And with them changing it to Princess and the Frog themed, which is one of my favorite movies, I'm so excited about this. I'm ready to hear the updated music and see how they incorporate, Tiana and just everything about it. I'm really excited to see where that one goes. So even in its current state, I would say it's my favorite, but I'm looking even more forward to it with the new theming.
Man, you answered my question, because that was my next thing. What do you think about the theming, right? Because a lot of people say, don't change it. But like you, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've ridden it a ton of times in its current form, and I love it. But I think it's one of those things where it's not supposed to be a museum, right? That's what they always say about Disney and how Walt wanted it. So let's update it. Let's incorporate some IP that's really not used enough in the parks, in my opinion. And Chelsea, our little one, she's 3. Her favorite princess is Tiana. So I'm excited for her to get a little bit bigger and be able to ride it. And so I'm really looking forward to the new theming.
I think if I was working as an Imagineer, I think that would be my nightmare job to have that assigned to me. And I know that they'll do a great job at it because that's what they do. They're the best. But I think that would be the most stressful thing in the world to take such an iconic ride and retheme it and do it right, because they've got to do it right, and they will. But that would be a tough challenge. Sure.
It would. And you're going to have those people that are just set in their ways and they don't want it to change, and they're going to be mad even if it's the greatest thing ever put together, right? So
right.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I would not want to be the project lead of that.
Yeah. So final question, John. When you ride it, with a poncho or without a poncho?
No, you're not wearing a poncho on that. I also, though, I'll say this: I try to avoid the front row unless I know we're leaving soon, because you get soaked with that one. But then you don't get it; it's not as bad in the non-front row seats.
No, not bad at all.
Except that when you get stuck in the waterfalls, so you've already gone down the big.
Oh yeah.
And there's that waterfall, and my daughter thinks it's hilarious to push me against the side, so all the water gets me. She thinks it's the funniest thing in the entire universe that mom gets soaking wet on the. So you've already gone down the big hill, and you're just sitting there. You think you're all good now, and then I get drenched in that little waterfall.
Yeah, I stand on the little bridge eating the candied bacon, watching people get soaked as they come down.
That is fun.
It's the little things that give me joy. So, all right. So we got our food, we got our ride, now our show. All right, Jodie, you're catching the show. What are you going to catch?
Well, I can catch the show from August to October only, so I hope it's not cheating too much. But my very favorite show is the Boo to You parade at Magic Kingdom. I love the Headless Horseman. I love the dancers from Haunted Mansion, the dancing ghosts from Haunted Mansion. I love the Grave Diggers. I love that parade more than anything else. And I would go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party just to watch that parade. I love it that much. And I'm not a parade, like I don't love all the other parades, but that one, I love it. So but I can only go from August to October. So I got a short time frame to watch it. That's my answer. I love it.
Well, that's not cheating, because that's very good and very specific. That's good. John, what about you? You catching the show? What you gonna do?
Yeah, I am jumping in my DeLorean and I'm going back about 2 years, year and a half, and I'm gonna watch Happily Ever After because like I have a picture of it in my office. It's my favorite thing that I've ever seen probably in my life. Like I get emotional watching it. I just love it. I still listen to the music and I watch it on YouTube in the background while I'm working still. I love it. But if I was forced to pick something non-Happily Ever After, I'm probably going to go with the Enchanted Tiki Room. It's cute. It's fun. It's, it goes back in time. It's really cool. I like, you hear the clicking of the birds and everything. It's old technology, but it's, I don't know. It's just a fun environment. Plus you get out of the heat and into that air conditioning for 15 minutes or so. And then you can grab a Dole Whip and ride Jungle Cruise when you're done. So it's, I think I'm going to go with that one.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Mean Gene, you catching the show. What are you catching?
I'm catching pirates.
The animatronics are putting on a bit of a show for that one.
Good save, John.
Good save, John.
I don't understand what's so funny. We said like ride, attraction. It's not a ride. It's not a ride. It's a show.
Okay,
You
that's
might
fair.
move through it, but it is a show. This is not. I mean, it's not a ride. If nobody's screaming, nobody's holding on for their life, and nobody's getting wet, it's not a ride.
But you do get wet on pirates, but you make a good point. But you know what?
You don't really get
Kevin, there's a show coming up. Where you going to your show?
So I'm going to go to Feel Hard Magic. It's one that I'd never really gotten into before, but when I went this past marathon weekend with Jeff and Carly, they said, "Hey, let's go check this out. It's really good." And I said, "It's fine. I can sit down. I just finished running a lot of miles, so let's do it." So I went in and watched it, and I was actually pretty impressed. I felt like a kid again. Having kind of the 4D effects in that show was pretty cool. I'll definitely go back. I want to take the kids there and let them experience it. I've passed it up so many times. I just don't think about it, but now it's one that I think I really had a good time. It might have been the company I was with. So.
Did they have the Coco scene in it when you were there? Or was it still?
They did, yeah.
Man, that's a great addition.
It's really cool,
That is
yeah.
a great addition.
I haven't seen it yet.
I love
we go there most trips.
That's a great show. I love watching all the kids trying to catch the jewels. Was it Ariel? Is that her spot? It's great. It's a great show.
That's fun.
And it's a show.
Yeah. So I thought about the cavalcades because I like that more than the parades.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Gene's favorite show, which is Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. That's to me. I love that we go to that one a lot. I was that guy one time, which is really pretty cool. So that's mine. I like Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for sharing your favorite food, ride, and show at the 4 parks. And now I think one of our favorite parts, which is cracking up with the ducks, right? Cracking up. So who has their joke and like to go first?
So I'll just, I met with my boss this past week to do a mid-year reviews. And one of the things she asked was like, looking forward, where do you want your career to go? And really my response was, I want to do something where I'm cleaning mirrors. It's just something I could really see myself doing.
Good one.
Yeah. It's a thinker though. Yeah.
Jodie?
All right. Well, this ties in with one of the things that we were talking about earlier in Epcot. So it's a little corny, but we'll go for it. What do sea monsters eat?
I don't know.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
There you go.
Chips.
Fish and chips instead of fish and chips. So your Yorkshire fish and chips.
So, Gene, you have a dad joke for us?
No, but I was going to tell you about what happened earlier, man. My wife sent me to the store. Sometimes, my wife says I don't listen or something like that. I don't know. But she told me to get 6 cans of Sprite. When I came home, I realized I picked 7-Up.
I like that. I like
That's
that.
a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Kevin, what you got?
So with school had started, this was the first long week of school. Week before it was a half week. This week we started. So my oldest started bringing books home for the first time. He's in 3rd grade, and he told me a pretty good one, and I'll repeat this one. He said, "Why was the math book so sad?" Because it was full of a lot of problems.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. So let me ask you guys a question. When does a joke become a dad joke?
I don't know when.
When it becomes apparent.
I like it.
And with that, I think we are done for the night. So, guys, thank you so much. I enjoyed our conversation. I hope you did as well. Many thanks to our co-hosts, John, Jodie, Kevin, and Gene. Guys, if you like what you see, please follow us on our socials. We're on Facebook at Disney with the Ducks. We're on Instagram at Disney with the Ducks. We're on Twitter at D1 with the Ducks. Am I missing anything? Is that everybody? That's everything?
I think that's it.
You know what? But now we're on TikTok.
Oh, we're ticking and talking.
Yeah, how could we forget we're on TikTok? Right. So follow us along there for some great Disney content. Hopefully you guys like it. If you do, please leave us a review, 5 stars. It makes the algorithm work so more people can find us. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we hope you have a great week. So without further ado, you guys have a good one.
Kwaharini.
See you guys.
Bye,
Everybody.
Later, guys. You have to pick your walk-up song. So it's just sometimes it's a fun question to ask.
It is a fun one.
But thanks, John. That's very nice of you to say. After all the harassment I take from this group, it's just every once in a while somebody do something nice. It's what keeps me coming back,
Well, yeah, you gotta give people a little nugget of encouragement every once in a while
For sure.
to go with the beat downs and stuff. So it'll
But this is the
keep you
thing.
happy.
Gene, don't take our kindness for weakness.
Okay.
It's Gene.
Thought somebody at first. I honestly thought someone was going to the bathroom, but then I can see all of you guys. So
Hey, but the fax machine sound was not me. I promise you. 'Cause I
the
heard
fax machine was hilarious.
It was Eugene. It was.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. We can get back.
All right. No, but seriously, mute yourself, Gene. All right. Good call.
All right.
I'm going to say this. You guys
Bone to pick with all of you. Bone to pick with all of you. Really, how much difference is there between a Muppets or a Monsters Incorporated show and you're just moving through Pirates of the Caribbean? It's a show. It's people. You got to watch all this. It's not about the ride. It's about all the stuff going on.
You seem very, very sensitive right now, Gene.
Yeah.
Because y'all were all quiet. It would have been if I'd have said, "Hey, look, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I know this is a little bit different," but instead, y'all all were quiet, and it's like, "Oh, come on." Really?
Hey, look.
I think it's because you move in it, so I don't.
Yeah.
Show
You said Monsters Inc. last.
Yeah, you did.
But a different part,
Yeah, I know.
where is that? You don't say it. That's why.
I got
Short-term memory loss. He's got a little Dory
I
syndrome.
don't know.
Hey man, look, I love you, man. I'm just
Keep it
saying.
fun, Gene. You keep it fun.
Yes. Don't be sensitive, man. Don't be a sensitive thug. You need a hug.
We love you.
Yeah, right now I do.
If it makes you feel better, I printed out my answers.
Good.
I wrote mine out.
I typed mine up on my little phone thingy.
I enjoyed it tonight, guys. I hope you did as well. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you guys go for the night. Y'all have a good week.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see ya.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Kwaharini.
Bye.